Let's go ahead and figure out what we should do about Joey. I'm going to jump to the Permissions tab in the upper right-hand corner, and let's go ahead and explore the idea of roles. So here we have a list of permissions, and then on the right, as we explained earlier, there are several roles: anonymous user, authenticated user, and administrator. Now, Joey has the role of authenticated user. He doesn't have the role of anonymous user because he has a user account, and he doesn't have the role of administrator. Now we can imagine adding additional user accounts to this site that have different roles. For example, we want the guide to be able to add tours, but not add guides. But we're also going to eventually create an account for the marketing manager, and we want them to be able to modify the content of our pages as well, like the home page. So we're going to have different permissions for different users. In addition, we're going to have multiple guides, so we'll have multiple people that need the same set of permissions. So the idea here is to use a role, and under this permissions section is another tab called roles. Let's go ahead and click that. Here we can add a new role, and let's go ahead and add a new role for guide. I'm going to type in guide and click add role. This adds the user here, and we can click edit permissions next to this role in order to give this role certain permissions. Now this interface might not be as useful as you'd like because you don't get to compare the permissions with the permissions of other roles, and that can be useful to compare and contrast. So let's go ahead and go back to the main permissions page by clicking permissions under permissions. Now this will display all of the roles alongside one another. We have the 3 that we had before, plus our new guide role. And from here, we can take a look at the permissions and figure out what specific permissions this user should have.